watching Rogers TV.
Thank you.
Welcome to Daytime Auto. Oh, you can see, I don't know if you can see at home, but the smoke has begun here in the kitchen. Yeah, we are kicking off the show in the kitchen. We've got some great guests lined up, by the way. Sam LaPrade is here talking about her new show, Ottawa Business Matters, along with Su-Ling Ching, CEO and President of the Ottawa Board of Trade. They have partnered up for this amazing show. I've got a fantastic filmmaker on the show today. We're going to talk about a fabulous event where some, they're calling them Joes, are teamed up with pros. So you've got professional comedians teaching sort of people that have never done comedy before, and this is all to raise money for a great cause. But starting in the kitchen here with, you recognize her, Daniela Croco, regular guest on the show, and of course, she's got her own show here on Rogers TV, Simply Cooking by Chef. What are we working on today? I mentioned there's a little smoke show going on.
Happy spring.
Thank you.
So I thought I would do this fun spring dish that I do for like dinner parties or showers or like baby showers or wedding showers or bachelorette parties or whatever.
I didn't think in the showers kind of
it's
thing.
kind of like a brunchy inspired dish, but it's really spring because there's asparagus and stuff. And right now I'm trying to make this Parmesan cheese crisp in the frying pan. But as Derek likes to do, we're going to blame the stove, and it's not working.
This is honestly, I've had chefs on before, and they don't. You don't know our equipment, right?
No.
Compared to the equipment that you have at your home or you have at your restaurant, so everything works a little bit differently.
So we're going to pretend that this
we're
worked.
proud to shoulder the load on what's going on here, okay?
Okay, so what I did was I turned the pan up to medium high. Now I'm gonna turn it down and I took a rasp and I grated some Parm cheese.
Okay.
If I was in my kitchen, I would have a stove. You guys don't, an oven, sorry, you guys don't have one.
Correct.
And I would do little piles of the Parm cheese like on a baking pan.
Yeah.
And I'd pop them in the oven. And then they would crisp up and give me this crispy cheese. Oh, look, it actually did kind of work.
That's
Hear that?
not bad. Yes.
So we're just going to pretend this is like a crispy, round, pretty piece of cheese.
I can imaginate with you.
Yeah, we'll just imaginate.
With that.
Yeah. And so asparagus.
Yes.
Very springy.
Probably one of my favorite vegetables of all time.
Definitely. So I cut the ends off and made them all pretty. But earlier we were talking about how with asparagus, you can actually just break them and they'll break in the spot that they're meant to break.
Right.
And when you're at home and you don't care what they look like, awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm a chefie, so let's make them pretty. So we're going to pretend that cheese is not stuck to the bottom there.
Okay, I can pretend with you again. Yeah.
And I have like a nice little pat of butter.
All right.
So we're just going to let this asparagus cook while we do some other things.
So you're not blanching or boiling. You're frying the asparagus.
I love to fry the asparagus like this.
Just a lot of people overcook it with the boiling process and everything, and I find you lose some of the flavor.
And the green goes in the water.
Yeah.
And then so you have some of the vitamin or chlorella or whatever the green is in the water.
Yes.
So
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I've got some asparagus with a little bit of butter that I'm just going to let go in this pan here.
Okay.
I've got a pot of boiling water on. It's going. Oh, look at that.
It's almost there.
It's almost there.
Yeah.
And then I have these quail eggs.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I see them in store, but I've never bought them because I just don't know what to do with them. Now, how would you describe the taste of a quail egg?
A quail egg is just like a chicken egg in terms of taste. The yolk ratio, well, we just broke one, but that's okay. The yolk ratio is much bigger. So the yolk to the white is bigger than like a chicken or a duck.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just like to use them the same way that I would use regular eggs. I just think they're really cute for like a celebration.
Yeah.
When I'm going into someone's home and doing food for, you know, a shower or a party, they're just much cuter.
Okay.
If you watch my show, I did do a whole episode on eggs. Where we talked about all the different eggs, and these were one of them.
Okay.
But just, why not? Let's just show on TV. Yeah. So the shell is also much harder. You'll see like it doesn't just break open.
That's probably not a bad thing, it being so small too, right?
And then they're so pretty inside. They're baby blue inside.
Yeah.
So they're just very pretty.
Very nice.
I've got this here going, and I've got that on because I'm going to drop some quail eggs in the boiling water, and they're going to boil, and then on the break we'll pull them out. They only take 2 to 3 minutes.
All right.
And then
clean up in aisle 4, by the way.
And then I have some pancetta bacon that I crisped up before.
Did you make this pancetta yourself?
I did make this pancetta myself. Actually, I'll show you guys.
Okay.
With the pig that we do every year.
Yeah.
Actually, I just went to Kingston yesterday and we vacuum sealed all the salami. It's ready.
Oh my God.
This year's pancetta.
Salami?
No, this year's pancetta. Just the pancetta. This year's pancetta isn't ready yet. This is my last year's pancetta.
I don't know who sounded sadder, you or me.
Yeah.
Right there.
So this is the pork belly. I cut it and then I actually, like I do, I kept the skin because I'm gonna use this in a recipe another time. When you buy pork belly at the grocery store, it usually doesn't have the skin on it. But if I'm buying pork belly, I just go to the butcher and ask them to cut me a piece that has the skin still on it, because who doesn't want that yummy flavor?
I go to a great Asian market that keeps the skin on it.
Yes,
and
yes.
it's so affordable too, which is the nice thing. And boy, oh boy, when you get that skin crispy and crunchy and salty,
absolutely,
it's like candy for adults. My goodness.
I have this lemon. I can see that my asparagus is starting to turn color.
Okay.
See, it's starting to cook. It's starting to get that nice deep green color.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time to give a little bit of steam.
Okay.
So I'm going to add some lemon. So the reason I thought I would do this is because it's spring.
Right.
And spring brings party season.
Agreed.
And my slow season for parties is winter, because not as many people celebrate in the winter and having a whole bunch of people over to your house.
Right.
But it's spring, so I'm getting all those inquiries for barbecue parties and baby showers coming up and wedding showers and little weddings that I do. So if anyone in the Ottawa area has a celebration that they want to bring up to the next level by having a chef come and prepare for them, this is what I'm
you
showing.
customize everything, right?
Yeah,
because I think that what makes you unique is that, you know, you take care of dietary restrictions, right? If you have certain people within your group, you'll make sure that they're going to be taken care of as well. And you come into people's homes and you do it all and you clean it up and
then I leave and it's like you never had a party, but it's all done for you, which is really nice. So that's going to go there. I've got my little quail egg simmering.
Okay.
I have this beautiful little romaine gem. It's like a baby romaine.
Yeah.
I love springtime because it also has all the baby vegetables.
Right.
Because it's the beginning of the season. You've got like the little microgreens, all the little specialty things at the grocery store over there. Just for decoration, I brought them. We've got the multicolored radishes because radish is a really like spring vegetable. So I'm going to cut that in 4.
Okay.
And if Derek, would you mind actually grabbing the large plate underneath there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So this is just a little play on like an appetizer plate that we could turn into a platter and serve like at a buffet, plattered out with much more than just one serving. Or I'm going to show you today like how I would plate it as like an appetizer, a course for one person sort of thing. Right. Okay.
You can do 2 of these if they're, you were a couple. So this would be for one person?
Yes.
That we're working on.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So I have the little quail egg that I showed you guys what I was going to do with it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see if I can just separate and keep my little yolk here. So I've got my little yolk here.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little squirt of lemon. I'm going to add a drizzle of olive oil.
I'm going to try this quail egg thing. Where did you get your quail egg? Like, are they available everywhere now?
Yeah, they're at most grocery stores now.
Okay.
I've seen them at Loblaws, usually like in the specialty section or like that natural organic section of the grocery store in the refrigerated area. So the same way that you would kind of do like a Caesar salad dressing or like a mayo or a hollandaise sauce, I'm doing it here with the little quail egg.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here because Danielle is back for another segment. So don't go away. We'll finish all of this for you at home. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back with Daniela right after this. This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, the host of An Hour to Give. This week we're featuring the organization Code. We want you to learn all about the issues facing people in Africa when it comes to literacy. Join us.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Unscripted, uninterrupted coverage of events by Canada's business leaders, visionaries, and social figures. Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome back in the kitchen here with Daniela Croco, and we're sort of finishing off our little appetizer that we've done here. So you've finished this off, right? You've added the asparagus over here.
So we have that little gem lettuce that I cut in 4 and I placed on the bottom of the plate. I took that whisk that I was whisking when we went to break, which was just a little egg yolk with the olive oil and the mustard and the lemon juice. Yeah. And I poured that on top. And then we have that crispy pancetta bacon that Derek stole a taste of.
I had to steal a taste. I love pancetta.
It's there. And then I have these beautiful little quail eggs that, like, we boiled these live. Like, you guys watched me put them in the pot, and they're already done. So they really did only take 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just going to do this second one to show you. You could use real eggs here if you don't have them. Yeah. You could use duck eggs here if you don't have them. And you know what? Even for, like, dinner parties and stuff, if you have the patience, I love to do little mini, like, deviled eggs in the quail egg.
Oh, I like that idea.
Then, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Deviled eggs.
So I have my 2 pretty quail eggs here. We'll cut them in half. Okay. Look at that.
You got such chef hands. You're grabbing hot stuff.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
Cutting over your hand.
And then we've got, look how pretty that is.
That is so nice.
If I had more time, I would peel like 6 more to put on this large plate. But the cheese one there, we have that.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this so they can get an overhead of that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, just so you can see how pretty that is.
We have that fake cheese crisp that we made at the beginning of the show.
The one that we're imagining is actually a nice round crisp.
So it is so crispy. Yeah. So I'm going to break that up there. So if your round doesn't come out round, you don't have to put the ugly, weird shaped thing on top. Yeah. You can just...
Listen, it's Parmesan. It's beautiful no matter what.
It's beautiful no matter what. We have to put a little bit of black pepper.
Okay.
And so this is just like a fun play on an appetizer. I do everything custom. So this is something I invented and thought would be fun to show on TV.
I love it. It's original. It's got a lot of everything that I love, right? You've got a little bit of crunch in there.
Roasted garlic.
Nice.
That is soft that I'm going to also tear up a little bit and put on the lettuce.
Nice.
But everything I do is custom. So if you were to call me to do a shower or a party or an event, we would work together to create a menu for you. Right. And it would be based on what you want. Of course, I would suggest ideas, and we could look at past menus that I've done. Yeah. But really, some clients say, I want this, and I make it happen.
You just do it.
I just make it happen.
Because not everybody offers that, right? You go to a lot of different businesses, and they say, well, here's our menu, choose from the menu. They may, you know, add or subtract some things.
Yes, or substitute something.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's something that I really like to pride myself is that chef, my team and I, we really custom everything to each person. We're talking to someone who works here a little while ago that she's allergic to eggs. Right. But we could still have this. Because, you know, I could leave out the egg. I could make a dairy-free aioli using, like, the chickpea liquid to make the same sauce. And then I could leave the egg off the plate for her. Or I could use some, like, medium tofu or something and create the same consistency. So if
Jewel, is she talking about you?
I mean,
sorry. That's my floor director. Yeah, I'm sorry. Jewel's like, quiet. Pretend I'm not here, Derek.
We have a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And then the other half of the lemon, because you need a little bit of lemon to go with the romaine lettuce. I'm planning some party menus. So last night when I was thinking about being on TV today and I was making some menu suggestions for a party I'm doing in June, I thought, I have the ingredients in my fridge, so I might as well do this on TV. You guys know me. I don't like to waste or spend money if I don't have to, right?
But this is what I love about you coming on the show on a regular basis, is often this is what happens with Daniela. She shows up and she's like, this is just everything I had in my fridge. You don't go specialty shopping, right? Because you're coming on TV. You're like, no, I want to show people that if you've got these things available, here's what you can prepare.
Yeah, and I also don't want to like waste money to make a dish on TV because like I can just make it up. Yeah, and like that's what I do at people's houses. Like, you know, this morning
we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was with a client this morning and making 16 meals for the week following, and I just kind of made it up. You know?
Right.
So I have some shallot here.
Okay.
You could use green onion. You could use red onion.
Right.
You could leave it off if you're someone who doesn't like the flavor of raw onion for sure.
Okay.
And then the last thing that I'm going to put on the plate is a little drizzle of olive oil just to drizzle on the salad.
Nice.
You can make this so fancy by cutting the radish all pretty and using it as a garnish or what have you.
We haven't even used the radish.
Here, let's take one or two or three.
All right.
So the beautiful multicolored radishes, and we'll just look how pretty that is. Have you ever had a roasted radish?
I have. Fantastic. And I've used them as a potato substitute.
Yeah, for like a potato salad or something.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't like radish because it has that really peppery, hot, like wasabi-like flavor.
Yeah.
But as soon as you roast it, it takes that away.
Same with boiling them. So you can boil them like you would potatoes, and it will take away that, as you said, that kind of spiciness to it.
Actually, this spiciness with the raw radish, if you like that flavor, would go really nicely here because you have the fat from the pancetta and the fat from the quail egg, and this would really like cut that, which is really nice.
And, tell me about these little tomatoes.
I just thought they were so pretty.
They were. This is just sort of for
decoration. So it's also that season, right? Like it's spring, so things are starting. This is a greenhouse tomato. It's actually grown in Ontario.
I like how you fast forwarded spring for us here in Ottawa.
Well, I mean, what is it, like 15 degrees today?
I think it's actually going up to, I heard 18 at one point.
I love to use them as like a garnish or just for decoration or even to make myself feel good.
I haven't seen them on the vine this small like this before.
These are great. Farm boy.
Yeah, you love your farm boy.
I do enjoy.
Gotcha.
There's one nearby the station here, and I work around here. A lot of my clients live here in Westboro, so that's...
You go there, and we also go to the superstore.
Yes.
Because that lovely lady that always recognizes you and I.
And
Daniela was in yesterday, Derek.
I love to shop at Produce Depot.
Yes.
It's a local family-owned business.
Beside Time and Again.
Yes. There's two locations, one on Bank Street, one on Carling near here. The one near here is the OG and is really great, but the one in South Keys actually has a bigger like Middle Eastern and Mediterranean section because of the area of the city that it happens to be in.
Because my first house was on Woodruff Avenue, so that's where I went all the time for my produce, and they have great fish there as well. It's fantastic. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, reach out on her website, chef.com. She's all over social media as well. She can prepare something custom for you. Daniela, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Great
Derek.
to see you again.
Happy spring.
Happy spring. We'll be back with more right after this.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Treaty in Cree is Naskomitoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared and they would always be able to harvest what they needed. George Spence was my great-grandfather. In his life, he saw many promises of the treaty go unfulfilled.
Treaties were essential to the creation of Canada. First Nations still fight for the agreements to be honored.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to tell you about a fabulous documentary, but also to share some really exciting news for those of us in Ottawa, something we've been waiting for a long time. A great article by the Ottawa Business Journal came out this morning, and here to tell us about that exciting news, I'm joined by Chris Rusakis. He's the co-founder and creative director of Phantom Productions. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you,
Great to have you here. Let's talk about that exciting news. I mentioned that article. Tell everybody at home about it.
Yeah, I mean, what was said today in the Ottawa Business Journal was just about the idea that I'm spearheading a group of investors that is trying to get a soundstage built in Ottawa. So we're pursuing that right now. We have some money raised and need about another $30 million to make it happen.
So how encouraged are you? Because this is something that's been talked about for quite some time. Yeah. How encouraged are you, even this article alone? Do you think that gives you some momentum?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's fallen apart for many people before. I think right now the film office in Ottawa is spearheaded by a great team that is making it advantageous for anybody to get this off the ground. Right now, though, the film office is pursuing land with the NCC, which is not to our favor because, you know, to make things profitable and, you know, make things work for us, it would make more sense for us to own the land, right? So I think right now we're just trying to get some money together to see where things go.
So you're looking for investors, I mean, at the end of the day. Let's talk about Phantom Productions. Tell us a little bit about that, the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're a commercial advertising company that specializes mostly in commercials and a lot of animation, a lot of film. For us, clients span from the Ottawa Senators, the NBA, even Carleton University, Ottawa University as well. So, you know, we have a diverse group of clients, and it's fun times. But you know, we have this other side that is very much entertainment as well. So, for us, this documentary falls into that side.
Yeah, let's talk about this documentary, Nagano to Now. Tell everybody at home, because I know that everyone's going to recognize the name, and really the story behind this is about that name, right?
Yeah. So Nagano Till Now is the story of Ross Ribliati and his run at the 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano. Ross ended up winning that event, but was stripped of his medal for minute traces of marijuana in his system. Spoiler, he gets his medal back, and became a sensation around the world. You know, and at the end of the day, it greatly affected his life, positively and negatively. I think for Ross, what's very interesting and what's shown in this film, though, is he's come out on the other side with a cannabis company called Ross's Gold. So it's come full circle, and we go through that whole dynamic, and it's a documentary short, so it's 32 minutes long, and there's a lot to unwind in that 32 minutes, but it had a great success run in the film festival circuit, being screened around the world, starting this time last year in Austin, Texas at the South by Southwest Festival. So for us, we're extremely happy with what's taking place here, and tomorrow night is a final show in Ottawa at the Mayfair Theatre for our close family, friends, and clients to enjoy.
How did you connect with Ross?
This is a very interesting story.
Okay.
So it was the Sochi Olympics, 2018.
Yeah.
And I had posted on Instagram saying that they should bring back the beret that they wore at the 98 Olympics. And I had tagged Ross in the photo. And oddly enough, he reached back out to me and was like, hey man, thanks for the shout out. And that connection through Instagram grew over the years, and we were shooting a commercial in BC, and I was like, you know what, we have time in the production calendar to fit something in here. Let's see what we can do. And that's how it started.
For those that aren't aware, what was the timeline, Chris, of him, losing the medal and then finally getting that medal back?
Yeah, so he wins the medal during the day. And by that night, they have determined that there were minute traces of marijuana in the system. The next day, he ends up in a Japanese prison because the Japanese authorities felt that maybe he had brought marijuana into Japan.
I see.
And after searching his room and whatnot, they determined that that wasn't the case. And the Canadian Olympic Committee spent about 2 days fighting to get the medal back and was successful in those proceedings.
So, because it's a head scratcher, right? When you think about cannabis, you don't think of it as performance enhancing whatsoever. Was that part of the argument then at the time?
I think it was for sure, but I think what's also interesting about this is, had this happened now at, say, the next Winter Olympics, a few things would be different. The rules in the 1998 Olympics didn't have marijuana as a banned substance. So that was part of the ruling that took place at the end of the day, what got his medal back. Now it is listed, but also now you have lots of athletes supporting cannabis and even CBD. They're even spokespersons for these brands, right? So the way that we look at this has dramatically changed, especially in Canada with the laws that we have.
I've seen interviews with Ross, over the years, and he still gets emotional about that experience.
Yeah.
From your, talking to him and putting together this documentary, is that still the case for him?
Yeah. So it's interesting you say that, because in the film, there's a point where I'm asking him about representing his country, and when we get to that spot, emotions kind of poured in with him, right? And it was kind of at that moment for me that I was like, okay, I think I might have something here, knowing that I can pull this out of him, and we continue the conversation from there. But yeah, he's very proud to, represent his country, to be the first person to also win that medal, because it was the first year that was an event at a Winter Olympics, right? So, it was a historic Olympics. It was the first time that we had the NHL players back on ice as well. There was a lot of eyes on it, and I think that also played into why it became such a bigger international story.
Yeah. It's an amazing film. I've had a chance to watch it myself. I know it's a private screening, but we'll let you know when there's a public screening available to everybody. Thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me, Derek.
We'll be right back after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law, requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Two recognizable guests in my next segment here. One of them has a fantastic brand new show here on Rogers TV. You probably know her other show, An Hour to Give, but she is the host of a brand new show here on Rogers TV and a podcast. It's called Ottawa Business Matters, and she's teamed up with Su-Ling Ching, President and CEO of the Ottawa Board of Trade. Sam LaPrade. Su-Ling, how are you?
Fantastic.
Great to have you here. So, Sam, tell me about this idea. How did this show idea come together?
Really the brainchild of Su-Ling. Really wanting to have that opportunity to showcase the Ottawa Board of Trade, its members, and really share, I think, with all Ottawa residents what an incredible opportunity it is to have the businesses we do in this city, but also attracting talent internationally, the ecosystem, how it all works, and how we all work and need business in the city.
Well, and Su-Ling, I'll say this, hats off to you, because it's something even our station manager, Gavin Lumsden, talked about, is that this has been missing, right? To hearing from local business leaders and local businesses, and politicians are a part of that, right? City councillors are a part of that as well. How important do you think this is to the community to have a show like this?
Very important.
Yeah.
And we're grateful to Gavin because we work closely with him and Rogers TV in a lot of the events that we do out in the community. And so he already knew that we were looking for a way to share what's going on in the business community and the community as a whole. And a lot of the tables that we're at these days, as we're talking about economic development, economic growth, advocacy for the business community, all of the opportunities that we have here, we've often heard people need to understand what the Ottawa story really is. And this was a way for us to create a new platform that we could bring to light some of the things that we're seeing as we are working on behalf of the business community and the community as a whole.
So what is that story,
Yeah.
Su-Ling? What is that Ottawa business story?
Well, okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's positives and negatives,
there
right?
are positives and negatives, and I think that's part of it is that we were feeling as though there's a lot of focus on the negatives, but there are a lot of opportunities as well. And so the story is that Ottawa is a city full of opportunity, that we have wonderful, passionate, determined, resilient business leaders here, entrepreneurs here, diversity in the sectors, a lot of growth in the tech sector, very fortunate to have the public service that we have here, very fortunate to have the healthcare and education system that we have here to attract people here, the amenities that we enjoy here as the nation's capital, not every city gets to enjoy. And then, of course, there's all of the benefits of the natural landscape that we have here. So we just know that all of these things together, including the economic ecosystem that we have here, makes it a great place to live, to work, to open a business, and to invest.
Sam, give us an example of some of those business leaders and local businesses you've had so far.
Well, of course, this week is International Women's Week, and highlighting a number of women. Sonia Shorey in our community, Ruby Williams was here, Susan Ingram. We're going to be playing that show again on International Women's Day. But coming up, we have Cyril Leader, somebody in our community that, in some ways, he's a bit of a mystery. We know he's doing so much for the Ottawa Senators, but he's involved in so much. So just a taste of who we have on the show upcoming. Steve Ball as well from the Ottawa-Gatineau Hotel Association is going to be on. but really an opportunity to showcase so many different aspects of the business world. Su-Ling Ching is my first guest every single show.
Nice.
So we start off on a great foot.
Revitalization of downtown, Su-Ling. I'd like to touch on that because that's a big part of this economic ecosystem and your outlook. I mean, not just you, but a lot of business leaders. Where do you feel we're at as far as the planning stages go?
Thank you. So last year, as you know, we declared it as a top priority for Ottawa's economic growth agenda. We've been working closely with local stakeholders, and we actually engaged some urban experts to do this downtown action plan. So we're in the final stages of creating the plan. We've done lots of stakeholder engagement and hosted our downtown summit last fall. And so we will release that in April sometime, that plan, and it will build on other plans that have already been created, including, you know, the city's economic development plan, also making sure that we're very conscious of working in alignment with the city of Gatineau.
Right.
And so that plan will really be, we hope, a comprehensive tracking system for us to gauge how we move forward.
Sam, how are you going about? Are people reaching out to you? Are you reaching out to them? Is this a partnership of, you know, the two of you sort of coming together and saying, hey, I think these are some business leaders? How does that work?
It's really been a combination of all of it, to be honest with you. It's a great opportunity to connect with members as well and make sure that Ottawa Board of Trade members know that they have a seat at the table. So we've been inviting them in. They're very excited to get the call. So we're going to be reaching out to lots of them as well. So it's really organic sometimes, and then it becomes what's happening in the city today that we need to talk about today. So we want to make sure that we're timely as well. So it's a combination of everything.
So like Sam mentioned Ottawa Board of Trade and those businesses that, you know, become members and are part of that Board of Trade. What are the benefits?
Well, so chambers of commerce and boards of trade traditionally have been created to represent the interests of business. So we do that by advocating for business at every level of government. As you know from the work we've been doing downtown, we're also very interested in city building and making sure that we create a great place to live. But over and above that, businesses have opportunities to have some input on what those advocacy priorities are. They also have the opportunity to receive discounts, you know, either for our programs or our events. Lots of opportunities to promote their own businesses, develop their employees as leaders and be recognized as well. So we have a suite of benefits that every member, every business in Ottawa could take advantage of.
There are a number of opportunities to watch the show, Sam, but, you know, sort of your premiere times. When can people and should they tune in?
8 o'clock Sunday night. We know where everybody's going to be watching Ottawa Business Matters. And then, of course, throughout the week, as you mentioned, lots of encores, podcast opportunity. You can find at your favorite podcast location.
Excellent. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
I mean, as I said near the top of the interview, it's something that has been missing in this city. So a big congratulations to you both, and congratulations to all of us in Ottawa, because now we have somewhere to go. It's the go-to place. Ottawa Business Matters on Rogers TV. You can find out more, by the way, on rogerstv.com to find out the entire schedule, and you can go to ottawabot.ca to find out more about the Ottawa Board of Trade. We'll be back right after this.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker? Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes. Do you travel for work? Yes, I do. Do you ever wear a special type of costume? Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes. Are you a professional baseball player? Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to tell you about Laugh for a Cure 2024. It's their second year, and this is just a great, unique event. I love the fact that they've decided to do something a little bit different. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Tricia Ross. She's the Director of Events and Community Engagement with the Ottawa Cancer Foundation. Welcome back to the show, Tricia. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And Kaylee Henderson, who is I guess you're one of the Joes, Kaylee. Is that how we're putting it? So, okay, before I get to Kaylee, Tricia, explain how this particular event works exactly for everybody at home.
Yeah, so the framework for the event is that we have 5 local comedians who train 5 local community leaders or business leaders, and they have about 6 weeks to train together to develop a 5-minute comedy set. And so on event night, they will walk to fame or to shame, depending on how that runs. And then we have Brent Butt, who's headlining.
Very nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's sort of pros and Joes. I guess that's
the pros
so
and the
Kaylee,
Joes.
tell me, how did you get involved with this and why?
Well, another lawyer, Ashley Bennett, gave my name to Deborah and Tricia, and I thought, what a great event, what a great opportunity.
Okay. So you've been partnered up with a professional comedian. Tell me what that experience is. First of all, who it is and how that experience has been going.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm partnered up with Rick Curry, who's a professional comedian, and he's given me a ton of time. We meet on Zoom, and he goes through my jokes like line by line and has given me some really good punchlines. He's going to come out and see me at an open mic where I'm going to test my material. So
That's amazing. So walk me through the process. Do you come up with the jokes and then he's kind of your editor in a way, or do you work together he makes up jokes as well? What is that process like?
So they're all jokes that I've come up with that he's punched up. He's made them better. They're jokes about, being a lawyer and my life. And so, yeah, he's been tremendously helpful making them funny.
I appreciate your honesty, Tricia. Sorry, not Tricia, Kaylee. Let's talk about how the fundraising portion of this goes, Tricia.
Yeah, so obviously ticket sales is, part of the, how we create funds for that. But each of our Joes this year, it has a goal of raising $7,500. So Kaylee is currently in the lead. It's not really a competition, but it's kind of a competition. So, yeah.
I think according to Kaylee, it might be, because you at home, we had just Trish on. Kaylee was like, "Yeah, I got this."
It's a competition if I win.
Oh, only if you.
Then it's a competition.
Only if you win.
Yeah.
I love it. You mentioned the headliner. Tell us how did that connection happen, Trish? I mean, this is a big get.
Yeah,
right?
It is. And I've always been a big fan of Brent's, and my kids remind me that we used to watch Corner Gas a lot when they were little. So I was like, okay, yes, Brent Butt, it is. Last year we had Sean Majumder, who was really great. So we were looking for another Canadian act that would, bring down the house, and Brent is an obvious choice. So, yeah.
Where's the money go, Tricia? Let's talk a little bit about that.
So the money for Laugh for the Cure will be going to the mental health initiatives at the Community Cancer Hub. So we have a number of different programs that support people's mental well-being, and everything is free. So all of the therapy, all of the cancer system navigation, any of the other wellness programs, but really this initiative is about mental health and helping cancer patients deal with all of the things that happen outside of the hospital.
Kaylee, tell me, you're a lawyer. Tell me a little bit about your background as a lawyer.
Sure. I'm a family lawyer. I've been practicing for 8 years with my friend and business partner, Altanai Teshabaeva, So that's another difficult name to pronounce. So clients struggle with that.
That is good. Did you do that, the two of you, on purpose? Or you met each other and you said, look at the spelling of these two names. This
Let's
would be great.
make the hardest to pronounce law firm possible. We'll pair up.
Yeah, it's memorable, though. What do your family and friends think of you getting involved in this?
They're really excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're stoked. I have a friend who's going through cancer, and she has been for 12 years.
Really, eh?
Yeah, and so she's been super helpful in raising money for the Cancer Foundation, and her friends have pitched in and donated money, and I'm really happy to raise money because she's who I'm going to be thinking about when I'm doing my stand-up. Nice. And she's at the event, and I can't wait.
Tickets are still available, right, Tricia?
Yeah.
To the event. I want to go back to the foundation just for a moment and tell me a little bit about the role of the foundation and why you wanted to get involved.
Why I personally wanted to get involved? Okay, so actually I have breast cancer history in my family. My mom was one of the very first people who did stem cell clinical trials back in the toddler years of the Cancer Foundation before the amalgamation of the hospitals when we were housed at the general campus. So she was part of that, and my sister actually had breast cancer as well and survived that cancer. So yeah, it's a connection for me personally, for sure, and the work that I do every day just makes me feel like I'm honoring them. So
yeah, and that's what I asked because I remembered it was very personal to you. So I appreciate you sharing that again. Is this one of your sort of signature events? How important are events like this to the foundation?
Very important. So events are one of our biggest revenue generators at the Cancer Foundation, and people like to come out and support, and that community connection piece is also really important. So while events like Laugh for the Cure and Fight for the Cure and our breakfast are all important revenue generators, it's also that community engagement piece and letting people know who we are and what we can do to help support people in the community.
How are the other, I guess I don't want to call them contestants, but how are the other Joes feeling at this point? Have you been in constant contact with them?
So I've been in contact a little bit. I like to give them space to figure it out. I've been in contact recently to ask them what their walk-on songs are going to be, to get them pumped up and motivated. I think things are going really well. They all seem to be enjoying the experience. So yeah, we're really grateful for everybody who's sort of jumped on board this year and looking forward to a really great night. I don't think there'll be any walks of shame, so yeah.
I can't wait to hear the walk-on. Can you share your walk-on song, or do you want to keep it secret?
I want to keep it secret.
Okay, we'll keep it secret. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Thanks to you both. Really appreciate it. And good luck. I cannot wait to be there. Laugh for the Cure 2024 happening at the Shaw Center March 26th. Kicks off at 7 p.m. But get there a little bit earlier because the whole show itself kicks off. OttawaCancer.ca/events. We'll be back with more right after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, the host of An Hour to Give. This week we're featuring the organization Code. We want you to learn all about the issues facing people in Africa when it comes to literacy. Join us.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
Michelle on Rogers TV.
A large demographic that tunes into our show and actually the channel in general are seniors, and many seniors are looking for solutions out there. They want to stay at home longer. Perhaps they just need some help here and there. There's some great help with my next guest. I'm joined by Debbie Abfolter and Julie Joyce. They are with Senior Solutions Inc. Welcome. Great to have you both here. Welcome back, Debbie. Nice to meet you, Julie. And you brought along a special guest here. Debbie, let's introduce Diesel here to our viewers.
This is Diesel, the therapy companion dog. He's been working with Senior Solution for about 5 years. In 2019, we made calendars, Diesel calendars, and then we did a lot of fundraising. I ride a motorcycle, so we do fundraising through. So Diesel does sponsoring. He's raised about $12,000 since then, and that all the monies go back into the community for seniors who are suffering from elder abuse.
That's just
that's
amazing.
His job.
Everyone in the green room fell in love with Diesel,
yes.
I'm sure, right?
Yes, he's a little exhausted from all the love. No, he works with seniors with Alzheimer's and dementia. So he does visits in retirement homes. If we have a client that needs to go to the dentist or a cancer treatment, we bring Diesel. We now actually have 3 dogs on staff.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yep.
And Julie, that's not all the services that you offer, just something like Diesel and the other therapy companionship dogs. What other services do you offer through this?
Many services. Companion visits is a big one. Kind of enriching those day-to-day moments in the home or in a nursing home, even the hospital. Transportation to and from appointments, as well as end-of-life doulas we have on staff.
I'm an
as well.
end-of-life doula, and we have 5 on staff.
Yeah, tell me about that, Debbie. And that's something that really intrigued me when you sent the info. We've got an end-of-life doula coming up on the show a little bit later in February as well.
Well, it's end-of-life is non-medical, non-religious, and non-lawyer.
Okay.
So we advocate for the client. So we are there for the client. We are there as a gatekeeper. If Mr. Smith's sister of 50 years never wants to come and see her, she's not allowed to come. We advocate. We also are sort of a concierge for the family, so we can pick up food. We do a lot of cooking. So if they're in their own home, we can do a lot of in-care home care for the families, but as well for the person that is. Transitioning, we call it. We have done assistance with MAID, help them apply for MAID. And typically when someone is end of life, they are more apt to accept it than the family.
Right.
So we advocate for them, and we also there to not counsel, but to be there for the family. And when the person transitions, we can wash the body, we can change them, we can assist in getting the coroner and all that stuff. Yeah.
Julie, I would imagine, with many seniors, it's unfortunate that many would find themselves in isolation. So the relationships that you create with these seniors, you must become almost members of the family, like part of their circle of friends, right?
100%. I've worked with seniors myself for about 15 years, and I do consider many of the clients and residents I've worked with part of my family, and I believe our caregivers kind of develop that same relationship. And what's fantastic is after we kind of create these relationships in the community between caregiver and client, it's a two-way street. The client or the caregiver tends to go home feeling better too, and it's really beautiful to see that kind of relationship grow.
Yeah, and as I said off the top, more seniors want to stay at home as well. This obviously gives them an opportunity to extend that, and I think a lot of people forget, maybe Debbie, you can speak on this, a lot of people, hey Dees, where are you headed? A lot of people tend to forget that it's not as expensive as some of the alternatives, right? People think, oh, if I'm going to get home care, that is so expensive. Not necessarily the case.
Well, we can also, you can have 24-hour care, which can be very expensive.
Right.
But a lot of them, and a lot of our demographics too, they think of a nursing home as not a very negative thing.
Right.
I think they used to call it. can't remember what they used to call it. But anyway, so we can go in there 3-4 hours a day, 8 hours a day. We can assist the families when they can't be there. A lot of our clients have family members all over the world, but they don't live here.
Right.
So we advocate for the family. We're very hands-on. We have an app that they can look at all the notes. So at the end of the day, the caregivers, they literally have a bird's eye view of what we've done for the day.
Right.
And we're very, very hands-on, all of us. I personally am very hands-on. Julie's very hands-on as well. We're very accessible, and we work with other agencies as well. So our need for help with seniors, sometimes other agencies, we all work together. So we're there to help the senior, and it's not about anything else other than helping that particular senior. Yeah.
That's the number one thing
Absolutely,
for
that's our
you, and of
goal.
course that's the number one thing for the client
Because loneliness
themselves.
and with isolation, I mean, a lot of these homes right now are still under isolation with COVID and influenza, and it's worse than obesity. Isolation and loneliness is
well, it's an epidemic, right? Yeah. If I remember correctly, the UK was the first and only country, as far as I know so far, is to have a minister of loneliness.
Wow.
That's how serious they felt that the issue was. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in this country in particular down the road.
And a lot of seniors were applying for MAID because they were lonely.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
In your life, you know, to get to the point where you're so lonely.
I had one lady, she applied for MAID and she was accepted because all she wanted to do was die for 3 years. And then when she got accepted, I said, so, you know, what is it that you'd like to do now? I went back a week later and she goes, well, it's so final. I said, it is. Well, I don't want to. She wanted that on the table.
Right.
And then once our visits were up and we were going more often, she was no longer
I was
lonely.
going to say that. I mean,
That's
you and your staff, you know, changed that mindset completely.
She had no family in town. So.
Really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And thank you, Diesel. You've been so lovely. To find out more information, by the way, you can call them 613-592-1250 or you can visit them at seniors-solutions.com. We'll be back with more to wrap things up right after this.
Thank you. Thank you.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back to the show. Let's review a couple of things we talked about on today's show before I let you go. First and foremost, Laugh for the Cure 2024. That again is coming up at the Shaw Centre, March the 26th. The show itself kicks off at 7 p.m. So I would recommend arriving between 6 and 6:30 p.m. You can get your tickets at ottawacancer.ca/events. Also want to say another big thank you to my colleague and friend Sam LaPrade and Suling Ching from the Ottawa Board of Trade for joining us on the show today. Highly recommend you tune into Ottawa Business Matters, which you can watch right here on Rogers TV. Mondays at 8 p.m., Wednesdays at 9 p.m., Sundays at 8 p.m. as well. It's throughout the entire week. You can check out the schedule at rogerstv.com, but just an important show to find out what's happening in the city, what the business community is continuing to talk about. It's a great sort of match with our show and their show where, you know, we're more of a sort of a lifestyle show and they're looking more on that business side of things, so be sure to tune into that. And big thanks to everybody. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Daytime. We'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
The signature event of Black History Month, the RBC Black Diamond Ball, is on Rogers TV. Hosted by Maggie John, featuring Bayesian soca queen Alison Hines, funk band The Soul Motivators, winner of the RBC Black Diamond Ball the vocalist, Osei, and other special guests. It's a tribute to you. Visit our website at blackdiamondballto.com. Supported by Rogers, presented by RBC.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada.